So I'm going to talk about prayer. The question is about prayer. Okay. Any prayer will give result. Okay. Do not underestimate the power of prayer. Every prayer will be answered, but not according to your desire. What is required to you will be answered. Our mind has certain way. Our mind is very small. We look at life in a very small window. The universe is infinite. Okay. When you ask for something, it will manifest in your life. 100% will manifest. There's nothing. Ramana Maharshi said, all prayer will be answered. But our prayers come from ego. Okay. Many times our prayer is to change the circumstance. I am suffering. The circumstance has to change. The prayer always should be to change my inner qualities so that I face the circumstance, to gain the strength, not about the changing circumstance. Whatever it be the prayer will appear, the prayer will manifest. But it may not manifest in the time frame which you want, because all of us, we have a deadline. This has to happen tomorrow. This has to happen yesterday. Okay. So the God doesn't work on your deadline. Only your maid servant will work on your deadline. So now practically we are making a God as a maid servant. You do it by this time. Otherwise, what kind of God you are? What kind of Ishvara you are? No, you can't do this. So that doesn't work that way. The prayer will be answered. Our prayers are like seeds put in the universe. A seed will become a plant. Every seed which falls to the ground will become a plant and a tree. Sometimes it will become immediately because the fertilizer and water and sunshine is there. Sometimes it will take some time. So any thought which you are putting in the universe will manifest it today, tomorrow, after 10 lifetimes or 100 lifetimes, but it will be there. Okay. So what we are doing is, by our prayer, by our thoughts, we are creating a future reality of ourselves. The same thing is true for you. What you are today is your creation in the past. Something which you planted has become your life today. So what you plant today, what thoughts you have, will become a reality tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after 1 year, after 10 lifetimes or 100 lifetimes. The universe will never let go any of things. Like any seeds is that one day it will become a plant. But many times we have a concept of this has to happen within this time frame. That may not happen. Because within that time frame, something has to happen, will require some circumstances which are not, we don't have the visibility. We don't know what are the circumstances which are required for something to happen. And the time may not be there, ready to manifest that circumstance. But the universe will make sure that your request will be manifested when that circumstance comes. Not necessarily now. Maybe after 10 lifetimes. For you, 10 lifetimes appears to be very big. For universe, it's always now. Universe always operates on the principle of now. For universe, everything is now only. For you, 10 lifetimes or 100 lifetimes or 100 million lifetimes appears to be very big. For universe, everything is now. So in that sense, don't be worried. Don't get, 10 lifetimes what will happen? For universe, 10 lifetimes is nothing. It is always now. Our consciousness. It starts manifesting. The sense of time, what we have, 100 lifetimes, 100 million lifetimes, all those things are illusionary from the point of universe. From universe, everything is now only. The universal scale is always now. Whatever you wish, the God or universe will manifest now from the universe point of view. But the now may be different in your time scale. For example, one smart guy, smart graduate, he did a meditation to God. So Bhagavan appeared in front of him. Bhakta, what do you want? He said, first he wanted to make sure what he is getting very clearly. Bhagavan, our $1 billion is how much in your currency? He said, 1 paisa in Bhagavan's currency. It's nothing. So then he said, Bhagavan, please grant me $1 billion in your currency. So then Bhagavan said, yes, I'll give 1 second. The 1 second is 10 million years for him. So please understand, our concept of time and universal concept of time are not same. We want something to happen. From the universe point of view, tatastu, it's now. But that now will manifest to you in some time, but it will manifest. So that's why don't underestimate the power of prayer. Never, never underestimate the power of your thoughts. Because whatever you think, you start creating reality. My mother used to tell me, speak good words, talk good thing. Then I'll ask why. See, in the walls, there are tathastu devatas are sitting. They'll say tathastu. And whatever you speak will become real. Be careful. Let your tongue speak good words. She doesn't know, but her sense of understanding of life is that whatever we speak will start manifesting. So be aware of your speech. And your speech, with your speech, you will start creating reality of your own. How can I create a reality of my own? See, one seed of mango create one tree. One tree creates 10,000 fruits. These 10,000 fruits creates 10,000 trees. It will become a forest. Similarly, each thought, each action of ours is a seed of karma. It can create many, many lifetimes. At Vyavarika level, potentially each of our thoughts has the ability to create lifetimes. So always speak the truth, have good words, use your tongue for glorifying God, Guru. Never use your tongue for negativity. When you use your tongue for negativity, first negativity gets created within you, then negativity gets created outside. And whatever you start speaking, that starts manifesting in the universe. May not be immediately. From our point of view, it's not immediate. From the universe point of view, it's always now. The universe always is now. There's no time scale. So need to be, when we speak, pray, we should be very clear. So then prayer also should be very clear. Okay. So ambiguous prayer will not give right answer. So there is a shloka, there is a example in Vedas. So there was one demon. He did tapasya for Brahmaji. He wanted one son who will kill Vratrasura. He'll kill Indra. Okay. So when he, in Sanskrit, when he prays, one spelling mistake was there, prayer. Instead of getting a son who will kill Indra, he got a son who will be killed by Indra. Prayer. Okay. So need to be clear what we pray for. And prayer is always for kamya karma, selfishness, and for nishkama karma, selflessness. So the prayer which is nishkama karma will be blessed by the universe many times. It will have priority in the universal time scale because it's for a larger cause compared to a kamya karma individual. So when nishkama karma, prayers for nishkama karma or for the loka kalyana service is there, the universe will bless because it's coming from a heart which is much larger. The blessing will come in abundance. Many of our prayers are for selfish reason, kamya karma. I want this, I want this. So that also you'll get. But also consequently, the karma, you'll get something, and for that you have to work, and karma phala will be there. Nishkama karma blessings will come, and there will be no phala, the purification will happen. When you pray, always use a positive language. The universe doesn't understand non-existence because universe is always about existence. Everything in the universe exists. Sun exists, moon exists, tree exists. Is there something called non-existence in the universe? Non-existence is not possible. So there's space. Space exists. Everything in the universe is existence in some form appearing. something which doesn't exist, there is no meaning in the universe. So many of the times our prayers are, I don't want this. Please, I don't want. That I don't want. The prayer is not understood by the universe. For example, universe, I'll ask you, some guest comes to my house. Will you eat some food? No, I don't want. Some rice? No. Some idli? I know. Some vada? No. I don't understand what he wants. When you say no, you don't know what is the thought process behind that. So when you say, I don't want something, the universe doesn't have understanding of what you want. So always it's better to make a prayer which is very positive and very clear. Give me, I want this. Okay, it's not a I want, bless me with this. That should be positive. For example, there's a prayer called Vairagya. Give me Vairagya. Give me detachment. Okay, now detachment was it will be detached. What universe will understand? Detachment means what? Okay, something is there, let me take away. Finally, let me translate some action. This person seems to be having so many things, let me take out. So then detachment will he be detached? So internally, how he responds to that? No, today is not detached. No, next, let me take something more out. So detachment is a prayer. How does the universe have to answer? Tell me. I give me detachment. Always detachment is always it's a sequence in our tradition. Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya. They come in sequence. Vairagya itself is not a primary thing. Vairagya is consequence of Jnana and Bhakti. So Vairagya as an independent entity, there's no meaning. It's I don't want something. I don't want. That's detachment. What detachment? Detachment is always the result of Jnana and Bhakti, not the other way. So Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, they come in sequence. Jnana means what? Atma Jnana. Who am I? Nitya Nitya Viveka. Understanding. Or Jnana means also greatness of God. But for a Bhakta, it's a glory of God. Bhakti means love. Love for Atma Jnana or love for God. So now when you have something positive, result will be what is not required will drop from your life. So Vairagya itself is not an independent thing to be asked. Jnana Bhakti Vairagya is something to be asked. Jnana Bhakti results in Vairagya. A discrimination, but Nitya Anitya, Atma Anatma gives Vairagya. Now if you ask Vairagya, what do I understand? What is that understanding will happen? So what is our concept of Vairagya? Vairagya means I don't want is Vairagya. Raga and Dvesha both are not, that is called Vairagya. I like this, I don't like this, both are not there. That means your neutrality. So it's an open-ended prayer. So prayer, it can be better, Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya, which is more sequence. Jnana is positive, Atma Jnana, Ishvara Jnana, God's knowledge. Bhakti means love for God, love for self. And when there is love, the result is Vairagya. Vairagya doesn't give love. Love gives Vairagya. Jnana gives Vairagya. Vairagya doesn't give Jnana. Wait. That is the teaching. We have to be understanding the context. I'm telling you the proper sequence. Right? Any teaching has to be understood in the proper context of teaching. So the Jnana, Bhakti, Vairagya is the sequence. Why? I'll tell you. Let us take the example of your own child. So child, you don't go to cinema, you don't go to play, don't waste your time. Child will get frustrated. Why should I not do anything? Don't do. The child will get frustrated. He will do exactly what you do. Say. What you say, don't do. Instead, that child says, I want to study for IIT. There's a goal, a clear focus, positive focus. Then child itself will say, I will not go to movie. I will not play cricket. Because positive goal you are holding, then negative thing will drop. What is not required will drop by itself. There is no force there. If there's a force, that means there's nothing positive part of that. The positive part is love. The positive for love for IIT, love for rank will happen in result in vairagya, detachment from the movie, from the cinema. So hold on to something great, something bigger, then small things will drop. That's the meaning of vairagya. Now we start thinking vairagya itself is primary. So many spiritual things appear to be so. Okay, many things vairagya is required, vairagya is required. But that is told in certain context. If you take a specific text, I can tell you what is the context. But really the vairagya is jnana bhakti vairagya. When any spiritual teaching says vairagya is required, primarily already glory of Atma is given. Atma is important. Further vairagya is required. Already importance of Atma is told for the person who is studying the text. So the focus is on dana, for that vairagya will happen. Your focus is love of something. So that's why jnana and bhakti will result in vairagya. It's not the other way. So we should be very careful about what we ask. Always ask for something positive. Always pray for strength to overcome circumstances, not changing circumstances. Be clear in your prayer. Ambiguous prayer will not lead to anything. Then one more very important aspect is we have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Conscious mind and subconscious mind. Many times our prayers are coming from conscious mind, very small. Subconscious mind is much larger. Our subconscious mind has a quite opposite view. God, oh God, grant me this. Already deep inside subconscious, what the hell will come? Nothing will happen. Oh, God will not. Ishvara doesn't listen to my prayer. He requires some special prayer. So already subconscious mind is sabotaging what is conscious mind is. So within your mind, conscious mind and subconscious are not working together. They are working against each other. But your prayer is conscious praise. But subconscious, deep inside, you know very well, this will not work. Yeah, Ishvara, where is Ishvara? God, he can't listen to all of this. Subconscious mind is already sabotaging what conscious mind is saying. So can you have whole mind prayer? Conscious and subconscious together, the prayer will happen. That prayer will manifest. Because the universe responds to not to your thinking, but to your feeling. Feeling is deep down what is there. That response, universe response. Universe's feeling is much closer to universe compared to thinking. So the feeling, deep down feeling will start manifesting. I heard a situation where there was no rain in the town. So people decided we'll do a prayer meeting. Everybody comes to a prayer meeting, the prayers are happening. So many people are praying. No rain is coming. Then one small little girl comes with an umbrella. Immediately rain starts coming. The little girl has brought the umbrella. These guys are doing prayer meeting. And whatever rains, I have to bring the umbrella. She has that her faith is simple and straightforward. Whereas all of you guys who have come to the prayer for a rain, and they are very sure that rain will not come. Our prayers will not, deep inside, they know this will not work. So what is deep inside for us makes a difference. So that's why a pure heart, a clean heart, the prayers always answered. A prayer which is unselfish will be answered very quickly. Many times the prayer is answered, but what's happening is your prayers are ulta palta. Consciously you say something, unconsciously something else is going on, message. Subconsciously message, because the universe responds to your feelings. Something else is going on, message is going on. It's like you're talking something and inside something else is going on. Noise. That's where the prayers, you think that you are praying something, but result will be contrary because deep inside something else is happening. Think the feeling, right? When you say, I'll tell you what is the meaning of feeling, right? When you say this will happen, you have some local Vichara, right? You have very clearly it will happen. Consciously, subconsciously, no, there's no doubt. Whereas in case of prayer, there is always some doubt will come. Will it happen or not? Will God understand properly or not? Is my prayer purity or not? So all those mind will sabotage. Okay. Do you have as much clarity in Vyavahara with respect to same clarity is there in the universe? We don't have. Always some doubts will appear. Some questions will come. This will sabotage what message is going to the universe. Universe is very simple mind communication. So be a wholehearted prayer. is very important. A simple prayer is important. Our prayers are very complex. Okay. So all conditions are added. You try to outsmart God, right? So what happened was 3 missionaries. Okay. A couple of missionaries went to a remote island to convert people. So there are some poor, little bit ordinary people are there, simple living people. They told, what prayer are you doing? They're telling simple prayers, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the way of prayer. Okay. So this is how you have to pray. So give a very detailed prayer. So the prayer starts with my Father in the heaven, blah, 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 blah. In half an hour, half a page, prayer. So this is very difficult to understand, sir. No, you have to do this. Prayer has to be like this only. Okay. So fine. Those fellows took it. Then while going, these people are going in a boat. The boat started sinking. People started crying. Help us, help us. Then they see these 3 of the villagers are walking on water and coming and lifting them. And how did you walk on water? Why can't we walk? We did a prayer. Array, the prayer which I taught you will talk at least half an hour before you complete the prayer, before you can walk on the water. How did you do? Oh, all those prayers is very difficult to remember, sir. What he said is, oh God, you are 3. We are 3. Bless us. And we walked on water. So very simple hearted prayer, which touches God. Our mind is very complicated. Okay, all conditions will put. Variety of conditions. And then sometimes we pray for others also. Okay, others also we pray. When you pray for others, right, whether the person deserves that, we don't know. Okay, universe doesn't respond to your desires. It responds to what you deserve. We don't know what you deserve, but we want something to happen to that person. And whether that person has a desire also, we don't know. His person's desire may clash with your desire. There's a situation, one person is not well, very severely bedridden. So the other person, relative, says, I am praying for at least the person will have a peaceful death. I'm praying God every day that the person will have a peaceful death. The person keeps on living. Why God doesn't answer my prayer? Now whose prayer God should answer? The person who is severely bedridden has a desire to live longer. And you have a desire the person to die. So whose prayer has to be answered? The conflict is there within the prayers itself. So, and some prayers require circumstance to come into picture. Our mind doesn't understand the circumstance. This has to happen. The circumstance has to match. Some prayers, some actually what happen, our prarabdha karma is of certain nature that can interfere in our prayer. But a prayer has the ability to override all this and help you to come out of situation. That's called grace. The issue of grace, Lord's grace, can remove obstacles in your path and help you to come out. The grace can override any karmic actions. It's called, or reduce the impedency of karmic actions. That's called grace. So the prayer to invoke grace also will help us, but not the way we want. We have a certain way of thinking. This has to happen this way, but grace can come in many ways. We don't understand the grace coming in which way grace is coming. Understand? We have the grace has to come in only in this way. Our mind is thinking only in this way, but grace coming in other way we don't understand. I'll tell you one story to make you understand the nature of grace. One father in the church is praying. He says he believes he's a very great devotee, and God will protect me anytime. So the father is praying, God will come. One day, there's a lot of flood in the river. The church is sinking. Okay, the church is already submerging. So this father climbs on the rooftop of the church and prays to God. Oh God, please come and save me. He's very sure that God will come. Okay. Then some person was coming in the boat. Father, you want to come with me? Some fisherman. So father says, no, God will come. Okay. Then one person was swimming in the boat, swimming in the river. The father, come now, I will take you. Okay. Father says, no, God will come. So the flood rises and father dies. And he goes to heaven or hell, I don't know. Finally meets God. God, I prayed so much. I prayed whole of my life, prayed for you. Okay, you didn't come me. Then God says, who came in the form of the fisherman in the boat? Who came in the form of a woman? So for this father, the God has to come with a beard or some style where you think. So we don't understand the grace coming in disguise. Grace comes in so many disguises. Okay, our prayer will be answered. Every small thing happening in our life is a grace. We don't recognize that. The grace can come in many ways. It can come in disguises. We should have the ability to recognize our prayer is answered. Our prayer is answered every moment. We are not able to recognize and we reject the grace. Okay, we reject what is given. And once you start rejecting, universe also will withdraw. Let's say you give a gift to somebody. Okay, you give a gift to somebody. What kind of gift? I don't want. Or he will ignore the gift. The next time you will not give a gift. The universe is sensitive. When you reject what is given as grace, universe will take back. Need to be very careful. Be grateful to what you are receiving in blessings. A small blessing will come in some way. You are not able to recognize that small blessing as a boon in that. Blessing in that. Universe will send small messages. Be sensitive to receive that. So, but our mind says the prayer has to be answered in very specific way. You are dictating to the maid, clean this room, like that you are dictating to God. This has to be done this way. Just doesn't work that way. A simple prayer and openness that God is merciful, compassionate, graceful enough to grant. And it will come in any way. It will happen. You need to be very careful about when you receive something. Most of the time, when grace comes in some way, we reject it. We don't understand. Then many times, difficulties come in our life. Life, there are challenges and difficulties. So our question is, can you please remove this difficulty? Circumstances? No. So there is a lady called Kunti in Mahabharata. Sri Krishna asked her, Kunti, right from childhood, she had no life was not comfortable. Her husband didn't get a kingdom, she roamed, and even at the ripe old age, she saw her sons fighting for a kingdom. All her life was difficulty. Sri Krishna, at the time of his departure from the world, he asked Kunti, what boon you want? Kunti said, oh Lord, you have blessed me in this life. My life was full of difficulties and challenges. I pray to you that if I take a next birth, give me difficulties and challenges all the time. So, can you think she is sadist? Difficulties and challenges help us to move towards God. When your life is comfortable, never in your mind God comes into picture. I am the doer. I am successful. Life, comfort in life makes you life. What I call as it'll boost your ego. When life is comfortable, no learning will happen. Life is uncomfortable, start searching for solution. See, Kunti said, bless me with the difficulties in life so that I'll remember God all the time. So we think that difficulties and challenges in life is a curse of God. On the contrary, they are blessing of God. Srimad Bhagavatam has a saying, beautiful saying. Okay. People pray for grace, Bhagavatam. People for grace of God. Okay. But they don't understand the implication of grace of God. People pray for grace of God. Love for God. Okay. So Bhagavatam says, if the God is pleased with you, okay, God is pleased with you and God wants you to come back to Him, then grace will come. What happens is He'll remove all your relationship from your life. He'll remove all money from your life, including probably health from your life. Whatever you know, whatever you're holding on, it will be removed from your life. That's where you come to closer God. Others, you're holding on to something. You're not holding on to God. You're holding on to relatives. You're holding on to friends. You're holding on to money and power and position. So one who is very close, one who is God, with whom God is pleased, Everything what he has in life will be removed from him, snatched away from him. But for us, oh, God is snatching away this now. What kind of merciless God is? Our mind works in ulta. So God's logic also works in ulta. What logic you have? If your relatives and friends are moving away from you, it is actually God's way of making you closer to you, because then only you think of God. If relatives and friends are there, you are comfortably enjoying life with them. If a lot of money is there, you are comfortable in enjoying. People start working and struggling when the challenges are the life. Kunti asked for a prayer of challenge. Give me challenge. In Japan, have you heard of the story? Japan, Second World War time, okay, the complete economy was ruined, destroyed. Okay, so now what happened? Japanese people in that generation, 1942, they worked hard, 18 hours, 20 hours a day. They rebuilt the economy. It took them 25 to 30 years. Okay. They are workaholics. Japanese are workaholics. They don't go home. They'll spend 5 to 6 hours at home and rest of the time only office. After office, they'll go to drink some liquor. But for them, office is the only life. And ripe old age, they work. After 30 years, Japanese people are feeling very resentful, very, very bad about their children. The children don't work. They are lazy. What happened? This generation made a lot of money. That money is available to children. Why children work? So the richness, relationships makes you complacent. So challenges in life, losses in life is a blessing. But our mind works ulta, no? We think that the loss is, from our point of view, loss is actually something I'm missing. God is angry with me. On the other hand, God is compassionate with you. So our prayer will be answered in different ways. Now, when the prayer is answered, we don't understand the language of God. Our language is different from God's blessing. So when you say, give me detachment, something will be life will taken out. Then why did you take out something from my life? You asked for detachment. Your prayer is detachment. And God is granting your prayer. But then you start cursing God. You are not a mercy. You are doing this into my life. Okay? The God's ways are strange. The universe works in a very strange way. Universal mind works in a way always for your betterment. It is always for your evolution. Every single thing, universe is always compassionate and loving. Every single thing happening in universe is for your evolution. Universe is compassionate. Universe is loving. So what we consider as misfortune is fortune in disguise. We don't understand that. Universe is compassionate. Universe is loving. Existence is there supporting you all the time. Tell me how you are living. Your eyes are functioning, ears are functioning, nose is functioning, breathing is functioning. 24/7, you are being taken care by the universe. Whole life is, every single aspect of your life is taken care. For your living, the entire universe is provided. Sun, moon, the whole solar system, the beautiful air is provided. What kind of a mind we have? I want some trivial money, this one, that one. When the entire whole aspect, every single aspect of your life, every breath of your life is taken care by the God. Still, our greed, our mind is asking a specific prayer, specifically, as if universe doesn't understand. Universe understands very well what is required for you. You may not understand. Child may have some demand on the mother, but mother knows what child needs. The universal mother will give you what is required for you. You are free to pray. This concept of prayer has distorted our thinking. What kind of prayer we do? As if God doesn't know. As if we are giving a dictation to the maid. Do this, do this. Universe is already benevolent. Universe is already compassionate. Universe knows exactly what is required in your life. But we have a concept that this is what is required in my life. I mean, are we outsmarting the universal intelligence? Are we smarter than the universal mother? That's what our view is. I mean, God may understand it, but still, I have still something I have to give or tell God. Gentle reminders required. My dear, the universe is all knowing. It is omniscient, omnipotent. And every single thing required for your evolution, the current and future, is taken care by the universe. No, we may not know, but see, the prayer has a different context in Sanatana Dharma. So the concept of prayer in Sanatana Dharma and concept of prayer in other languages is slightly different. Concept of prayer in Sanatana Dharma is not about dictating God. So the prayer, concept of prayer, something has to happen to me, some miracle has to happen to me, doesn't come from Sanatana Dharma in that context. Sanatana Dharma, you look at Bhagavatam, read any Purana. The prayer is very different context. The prayer is always stuti. Stuti means praising God. Oh God, what do I have to ask you? You know everything. You are all knowing. Okay. Stuti means praise, glorification of God. There's no begging. Most of our prayers have become begging and dictation to God. The prayer is not begging and dictation to God. The prayer is stuti, the glorification of God. The more you glorify, the more grace will flow in your life, because it's not the grace is not there. You start recognizing grace in every aspect of your life. Every single thing, a small thing in your life, you start recognizing grace. The more recognizing grace, you'll be showed with grace. So already is there. Now our concept is God has required, like our politician, no, minister or something, some appeal is required, something is required. No. God, our universe understands. Universe is all-knowing, almighty. The universe doesn't answer, doesn't give what you desire. Universe gives what you deserve. That we don't understand. So the concept of prayer is a little bit glorified form of begging, little bit glorified form of dictating to God, this has to be done. The concept of prayer in Sanatana Dharma is not that. Concept of prayer is stuti. Oh God, you are almighty, all-knowing. You are Sachidananda Swarupa. Bless me. Show your wisdom. Bless me with wisdom. So that is the prayer. Any questions about prayer? Clear? Any doubts? Stop. You have a question? Is the question? Very thinking and feeling, there's a difference. Why feeling is closer to God compared to thinking? Okay, is the question, right? Thinking is about past and future. Thinking is about name and form. Name and form is always memory, past and future. Past is what happened, future is not what has not happened. Okay, so both are not real. Past is dead, future is not born. Only present moment is the reality. Okay, the feeling is in the present moment, not in the past or not in the future. Feeling cannot have in the future. So for example, you're sitting now, there's a pressure on your hands. No, that's not emotion. That's actually emotion. Feeling is what you are experiencing now is called feeling. Okay, experience at this moment is called feeling. So that experience this moment is only in the present moment. The present moment, you are closer to presence, God, compared to the past or future. Past and future remain unreal. God is Satyam. Satyam means reality. So present moment is closer to reality, or feeling is closer to reality compared to the past or future. And past or future are always, past is based on vasanas, impressions, future is based on imagination. Both are not in touch with reality. The feeling is closer to God. Are you clear? Any questions?